Hello yogis, we're going to do a really nice, easy, gentle class today. So we won't need any props, all you need is yourself. So go ahead and find yourself a nice comfortable seat, whether that be legs long if that's you, or you can be crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap. If your legs are long, make sure that you're sitting really tall because we have this tendency to kind of round through the spine when we have our legs out for some reason. So sit nice and tall, shoulders over our hips. And then think about lengthening the crown of the head all the way up to the ceiling. Let your shoulders release down and slightly back. So you have this nice opening across the collarbones here. And then just notice yourself breathing for a moment. So if you'd like, you could close your eyes, or you can have a nice soft gaze down at the ground. And just feel where you feel the breath moving in your body here for a moment, without changing or fixing any of it. Notice the gentle expansion and release of the ribs. Maybe that gentle rise and fall of the chest. And on your next in-breath, start to invite the air into the lower lobes of the lungs. Feel the belly be nice and loose and expand. And as you exhale, begin to draw the belly towards your spine to get all that stale air out. Just take a few deep rounds here, firing up the lower lobes of the lungs. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Good. On that next inhale, fill the lungs completely full, bottom to top, front to back, side to side. And then make the exhale twice as long as your inhale. If you'd like to layer in that breath with sound here, that ujjayi breath, you can feel free to do that. So to get the ujjayi breath with sound, we constrict the vocal cords in the back of the throat on our exhale, almost like you're trying to fog a mirror or trying to whisper with the mouth closed. So you should be able to hear your breath. And as you are inviting this deeper breath into the body with that nice, long, complete exhale, take a little journey around your body with your inner eye and see if there's any spaces that might still be holding tension. Maybe the jaw, maybe the ears, the neck. Noticing how the lower back, the hips, and the knees feel today. Again, not having to change or fix anything. We're just noting here what's arising today in the body. We'll stay here for another 5 deep rounds of breath, feeling completely full. And then a nice long, complete exhale, releasing and relaxing. Feeling a little bit of calm coming in now to the mind, perhaps. Good. Wherever you are, take one more big, deep breath in. A nice, long, complete exhale. And at the bottom of that breath, if the eyes are closed, you can flutter them open, or you can leave them closed here if you want. Some of us just want to keep the outside world out there. So we're going to begin by getting the neck a little nice and loose today. So take a deep breath in. We'll be opposite you guys. On your exhale, take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then notice if that left shoulder is starting to follow along with it. So let that be nice and loose. The spine is still tall, just the head is falling over towards the right. And you can stay here just feeling into that left trap. If you want, you can begin to take that left arm straight out towards the left wall. The palm can face the ceiling here. And then maybe exploring opening that left pec even more to take that left thumb maybe a little further behind you. Feel that opening now in that left pec and shoulder. And then maybe we can really start to whittle into this tight space by taking the chin down towards the right pec. So feel into all those tight little spaces in that left side of your neck and shoulder. And then maybe work into this with your breath a little bit. So inhale, take the chin up to the right shoulder here. Feel that stretch. And exhale it down towards the right pec. If you're taking that movement, take a few rounds like that with your breath. If you're just here, then just be here and breathe. Let the weight of the head gently fall over towards the right. See how much you can really loosen into that left shoulder here. Take 3 more deep breaths. Deep breath in. As you exhale, if you have that arm out, go ahead and bring it back to the lap and then allow that chin to just fall down to your sternum. Again, the shoulders are still pinning back. The chin is just falling down, and then feel the difference in the space between that left and the right side here. Take 2 deep breaths. We're going to fix that right side here in a minute. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, let that left ear roll towards the left shoulder, and then feel into that right side. And you decide if this is you here. You're still nice and tall in the spine, just the head is falling towards your left, feeling into the right trap. And then if you want to take that other option, maybe take that right arm straight out. And then maybe start to draw that right thumb behind you, getting into that right pec. Keep the chest aligned to the front wall so you're not traveling along with that arm. You're just allowing that arm to take you where you need to be here in that right pec. And you can stay here and breathe, or maybe drop that chin down toward the left pec. And then whittle into that space here with your breath, inhaling that chin up towards the left shoulder. Exhale that chin down towards the left pec. Take a few rounds wherever you are here and loosen into that space. Work with your breath nice and slow and allow that space to just open up naturally. Good. Take 1 more deep breath in. On your exhale, if the arm's extended, bring it back to the lap and then allow that chin to fall again down towards the sternum. Shoulders are still slightly behind you. The weight of the head is doing all the work here. So you can just let that weight open the cervical spine, or if you need a little bit more, you can take the fingertips, elbows wide to the back of the head, and very gently maybe draw the chin towards your sternum. Be really mindful of the neck here. If it's not feeling good, keep the hands down, keep the shoulders down and back, or just breathing into the back of that neck. Take 3 more deep breaths. Good. Take 1 more inhale. If your hands are behind your head, release them to the lap. Good. And then inhale, draw the crown of the head up nice and tall. Maybe take a couple rolls with your shoulders back and maybe a little wiggle side to side, whatever you need here. And then maybe forward and just maybe find any little bits of tension that still might be in the neck and shoulders and work that out. And then we're going to start to whittle into the waist and lower back here a little bit. If you have your legs crisscrossed and you want to switch, or you want to just take the legs long and give them a little tap tap, whatever you need, let the blood come back into the backs of the knees, and then we'll find ourselves back into a nice easy seat. Big inhale in. Again, we're opposite you guys, so exhale, take that right shoulder towards the right knee and feel into that left quadrant of the lower back. Make sure you have both glutes secured to your mat. And then as you exhale, draw the crown of the head forward. Feel the length along the spine, and then that left shoulder will come towards the left knee. Feel that lower right quadrant of the back open, and then come up. So we're essentially just making circles towards the right. And you can make these as big as you need to, or if you have some lower back issues, you can just stay here and maybe just roll the rib cage. That works too. Keep the breath flowing nice and deep. Again, you can have eyes open, you can have eyes closed, whatever feels good for you. Good. You might find that as that lower back starts to loosen, you might start to come a little closer to the earth every pass. Feeling into the outer hips here. Take one more round with your breath. Good, and we'll all meet nice and tall and center. Now, if you're crisscross, take a look at what leg you have in front. We're gonna switch that, but we're gonna open the front of the chest first. So go ahead and take your hands behind you, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together so we're opening across the heart. You can stay right here and just take a couple deep breaths. If you want a little bit more, you can plant the feet here, press into the palms and the soles of the feet to start to lift the hips. Hammock pose, a nice release here for the lower back. Or you can start to lift the hips, keep the head in line with the spine, and find your reverse tabletop. Some of you crazy people might want to take your legs long and take a reverse plank. Whatever feels good here, take 3 more deep breaths. Feel some strength come into the arms and the shoulders, good. One more big breath in. Slow, controlled descent, land that tail down. Now remember what leg you had in front before? Take the opposite. Hands on the lap, tall spine, big inhale. Exhale, left shoulder, left knee. Make your rounds, a few here with the breath. Loosening up this side. Eyes open or closed. Sometimes when you guys have your eyes closed, it can allow you to really connect with all those muscle groups that are contracting and releasing as you roll through these. It's a beautiful way to open up the hips and lower back gently. Good. Go ahead and take that last round here. And we'll all be nice and tall and center. Good. Take your hands all the way up on your next inhale. Feel the length in the spine like you're holding a big beach ball here. Exhale, pass it forward. Nice flat spine. When you feel that your glutes are starting to lift off your mat, that's your hinge. Let your hands come to the earth. Maybe just bend a little bit into the elbows. Maybe eventually you can start to allow the crown of the head to come all the way to the earth. If you're at home and you have, a pillow or maybe your cat or something, you can put your head on. You can relax the shoulders. Breathe deep. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Good. 1 big breath in. Nice, long, complete exhale. And then begin to walk those hands back towards you. Press that spine up flat. Good. Nice. We're going to go ahead here and take those legs nice and long in front. And then maybe roll the ankles, maybe roll the wrists a minute. Get that all nice and loose. And then we're going to take staff pose and we're going to prepare for forward folding. So go ahead and take your palms next to your hips. Fingertips face forward, flexion in your feet here. Maybe even think like you're standing on the front wall with your legs. So think about spreading your toes wide and then engage your quads. Maybe engaging your quads enough that your heels might even lift off your mat. And then hold all that action in the legs here. Press into your palms and get as much length in the spine as you can. Hold that. Allow the shoulders to slightly draw behind you. And then draw the belly button in tight to your spine. Maybe send that chin slightly down towards your sternum. Strong staff pose for 5 deep breaths. If you're doing this right, you should start to feel a lot of heat building. You'll feel a little shake. Keep the breath nice and even and deep for 2 more rounds. Good. Take 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, release. Inhale, the arms come up nice and tall. And then here, if you need to have a bend in your knees, if you have a little lordosis in the lower back or the hammies aren't ready yet, take a forward fold, let the belly rest on the thighs. Your arms can come to the mat, to your shins. If you have a little bit more space, maybe start to straighten the legs out. Just don't lock behind those knee joints. You want to keep a nice slight bend there. You don't have to make it to the feet here. You can just stay on the shins, and we're going to work into these hammies with a little bit of breath. So think about keeping those feet flexed. If your hands are on your feet or if they're on your shins, go ahead and come into a half back here. Draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lean in. 4 more rounds with your breath. Inhale, half back. Exhale, lean. Nice. 2 more. Inhale, half back. Exhale, lean in. Good. 1 more time. Now I want you to fold and hold in your deepest expression here. Maybe you start to slide a little closer to the feet. If you're at home and you have a belt nearby or a strap, you can always take that and put it around the feet. You can even, if the knees are bent, bring your arms behind your shins. Hold here and breathe for 8 more deep rounds of breath. As you exhale, think about drawing that belly button closer to the spine, expelling all that stale air out, and you might find a little bit more space come into that lower back. Notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders, jaw, let that all be nice and relaxed in the upper body. We'll all be at a little different breathing rhythm here. Our lungs are some bigger, some smaller, so go ahead and just find about another 3 deep rounds of breath. Nice breathing. Good. Big breath in. Nice, long, complete exhale. And then as you inhale, stack that spine 1 vertebra at a time, coming up nice and tall. Good. So we're going to work into our hips a little bit here. So you can either cross that ankle over the shin and let that right knee fall open, or if it's available anywhere but on the knee joint, you might be able to take that foot up to the upper thigh. Keep flexion in this right foot to keep your knee joint nice and safe. If you have super tight hip flexors, it might look like this. It's okay. Just stay here, stay nice and tall. So if you want to go any further with this one, that's where you'll bring your arms behind you, fingertips face forward like we did before. Squeeze the chest open as you squeeze the shoulders back. Expand your chest open as you squeeze your shoulders back. You can stay here, or maybe deepening this posture, draw that left heel towards the body, and then you can play with this one by maybe drawing your hips forward a little bit, keep flexion in that foot, maybe a little rock here. You can stay here and get into that hip a little deeper. Just keep breathing. And then there's also the option here, some of you that just aren't getting enough, you can wrap that right arm around your knee, left arm around the foot, and then you can grab your hands or your wrists, draw that in nice and tight, and you can let that left leg go long and maybe find that little wiggle. And if you're one of those Ashtangis and you want to take your foot, put it behind your head, this is where you could do that if you want. So take about 3 more deep breaths. Ray can put his foot behind his head. He's just choosing not to right now. Take 1 more big breath. And then exhale, release that side. Let that right leg go long. And just notice the difference here between the left and right side. Maybe tap those knees out. And then we'll try the other side. So go ahead and either cross that left ankle down here, getting that opening. Maybe the left heel all the way up into that right inner thigh. Bring those arms behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades back to open the chest. And then pick where you'd want to be on this side. Flexion again in that left foot. A little bit of a rock. You can scooch those glutes closer to that right heel. You can walk those hands back. Make it yours. Again, the option of maybe wrapping here. If you want to wrap, take that right leg long. Chest is tall. Little bit of a rock, whatever you need. Just keep breathing wherever you are. Good. Take about 4 more deep breaths here. Let that exhale do all the release. The inhales are opening up those tight spaces. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, release that side. Let both legs go long on your mats. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Take a deep breath. Arms come up. Exhale, find your forward fold. Maybe feeling the difference now between that first forward fold we did. Now that our hips are a little more open, maybe those hammies get a little better stretch now. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. Keep your feet flexed if you can. Shoulders are still descending down the back. Nice. Big breath in. Long, complete exhale. And then inhale, slowly stack that spine nice and tall. Good. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and take the feet to one side, come on up to hands and knees, find your tabletop pose. If you need to pad up, if you have a blanket nearby, you can put that under your knees. So spread your fingers nice and wide, have your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Look right down between your hands here, so we have a nice long spine. So if you start to feel like you're caving a little bit in that lower back, draw the belly in, so you have a nice flat spine. And then from here, we're gonna take some dynamic cat-cows. So see if you can take a nice deep bend in your elbows, and then start to draw the shoulders down the back, tip the head and tail up. Let that belly round now. And then as you exhale, dip back in, round through the spine, press the earth away. So just feel into these, you know, if you come through those and they are not feeling right for you, then you can just stay here in a tabletop. And some of you may want to get really flowy and just kind of find that maybe child's pose. Come on through into your cow pose, and then round through your cat, coming all the way back. Again, I always like to close the eyes when I roll through these because you can really feel into what your body needs. A little bit of cracking might happen, that's okay. Let you know you're still alive, right? Good. This is a beautiful way to open up the whole spinal column. So we have this, you know, that 10-pound bowling ball on our shoulders all day. It's compressing our spine. This is a really nice, gentle way to open up in between each vertebra. Take one more round with your breath. Good, and then inhale, come to tabletop. Thought you were done, didn't you? Nope. Go ahead and take that right foot back. Let the toes come down to the mat. And then we're gonna open up that right calf by just pressing that right heel back behind you, keeping a slight bend behind that right knee here. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. On your next inhale, go ahead and take that right leg straight back behind you. And we're gonna explore a little bit of sunbird here for a moment. So our core is engaged, nice and tight. We're pressing the floor away. Eye gaze is down at the mat, pressing back through that right foot. And then maybe those toes are flaring a little to your right. You might think about internally rotating your inner thigh so those toes are pointed to the earth. A lot more going on in that right leg. And then from here, little balance, you can take that left arm long. The left thumb is gonna face the ceiling like you're trying to shake somebody's hand in front of you. Eye gaze at the earth. And then if you wanna try a little bit of movement here, take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, you can round through the spine, tuck and round and tap that left elbow to the right knee and then inhale back out. So you don't have to take these movements if you don't want to, but if you are, think about moving with control, like you're moving through water here. Really controlled. All those little stabilizer movements, muscles during these movements are collaborating. And we're doing these cross-body movements, which helps us make new neurological connections in the mind. So when you start to feel all that wibble wobbling, that's what's going on in there. That's good stuff. Take one more round if you're doing it with movement, or one more breath. Good. Inhale, lengthen nice and long. And then from here, if you want to explore a little bit of opening for that right quad, you can go ahead and bend that right heel towards your glute. And then maybe think about taking that left arm, sweep it behind. Maybe you can get a hold of the heel. Maybe you get a hold of the right foot, top of the foot. If you have the foot, press that foot into the hand and open the front of the body. Big balanced posture. Notice what happens with your breath here. This is where, when we come into these more challenging poses, the breath starts to go away. So we want to make sure that's going nice and deep still. If you're here and you're holding your breath, it might be a little too much. Then maybe just stay here, bending back. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Good focus, Ray. Good. Release, inhale, lengthen everything long. And then go ahead and land that left hand, land that right knee. Take a child's pose, either wide knees or knees can be close. Let your head come down to the mat. And you can let the shoulders just be loose here. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch, you can take your palms overhead and bring them behind the neck. And then as you press into the elbows, you get more of a tricep stretch. If that feels good, or just stay here and breathe. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Beautiful. On the next inhale, go ahead and come all the way back up to tabletop. We're going to take that same series on the left. So let that left leg go long, toes on the earth, press back through that left heel, open up that left calf. If you feel like you have a little wiggle here that you need, just make it yours. Eye gaze is still down in between your hands. Take a deep breath in. Nice long exhale. Inhale, lift that left leg back. Internally rotate that thigh. Ooh, my knee is cranky today. So if you got cranky knees, you can pad up, or you can always do one of those little numbers I just did. See how easy that is? And then you can stay right here, or you can go ahead and reach that right arm long. Thumb faces the ceiling, looking right down at our mat. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel the core engage. Feel the length that it's coming out through the right fingertips all the way back out through that left heel. And then you can stay here, or maybe start to take a little bit of movement. Deep breath in. Exhale, round. Take that right elbow towards the left knee. Squeeze. And then inhale, lengthen out. Good. Go ahead and take about 4 rounds like that. Good. Nice and slow, like you're moving through water. Focus and breath. Got to make sure we grow the brain on one side even with the other side. Go ahead and take 1 more round here. Good. Lengthen it out nice and long. You can stay here, or you can try that little quad stretch on the left side, bending that left knee, maybe reach back, finding the foot, the ankle, the heel. If you have that, go ahead and press open the front of the body. So you're in a little bit of a back bend here. Keep breathing deep, focus. Helps if you have your eye gaze on something that's not moving, so the wibble wobbles might slow just a little bit. Deep breathing. Good, take 1 more breath. Exhale, inhale, lengthen everything back out. And then bring it back down to the mat. Find your child's pose, sink it back. Maybe take a different variation of child's pose this time. If you took knees together the first time, you can have knees wide, big toes touch. Gives a lot more room for the belly here to breathe into. And it's nice to have the forehead connected to something. So if you can't come all the way down to the mat with the forehead, you can always take a prop, a pillow, a block. Just feel nice and rooted here through the hands, the forearms, the forehead, the shins, and the tops of the feet. And breathe into that lower back here for 3 more deep breaths. Good. Go ahead and take a couple really deep breaths into that lower back. Good. From here, we can invite a little twist for our spine. So go ahead and inhale, lift halfway up. Reach that left arm really long in front of you. And then take your right arm, palm faces the ceiling, and thread it underneath that left arm. See if you can rotate that left shoulder head right shoulder head and right ear down to your mat. Good. If you can't make it all the way down, if there's a gap here, you can always tuck a little pillow or a blanket in there. You just want to have it in contact with something. And then this left arm, you can just keep spidering those fingers forward, getting a nice deep stretch in that tricep and that lat. If you want a pec stretch here, you can take that left arm and baby bind it around the back, and then maybe take that left shoulder head up towards the ceiling. So just feel what feels good for you on this side, and take about 5 complete rounds of breath. Try to relax as much as you can in this twist. Again, the hips can be a little higher. His hips are a little higher here if your knees are cranky. Or you can allow the glutes to sink back towards the heels, getting a little more stretch in the lower back. Good. Take one more deep breath in. Long, complete exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway. Go ahead and take that right arm nice and long overhead. And then see if you can slide this left arm, palm faces up, and rotate the left shoulder head and the left ear all the way down to the mat. Option again, reaching those right fingers nice and long. You might even lift that palm and press all 5 digits into the mat. Just feel into the stretch. Or if you want to take that baby bind, you would take that right arm around the lower back and then roll that right shoulder head up towards the sky. Big deep breaths here. Good. 2 more breaths in and out. Big deep breath in. Long exhale. Good. Slowly start to come out of that twist, lifting the upper body. Sink back, child's pose. 3 long breaths. Beautiful. On your next in-breath, go ahead and make your way back up into tabletop. Bring those knees back together if you were there. Good. And we're just going to take cat-cow in all 4 directions. That spine is meant to travel here. Take a deep breath in, lift the head and tail up, shoulders down the back. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, C-curve towards your right. Well, the opposite, you guys. Feel that nice stretch along the intercostals on the left side. Inhale back to center. And exhale towards your left. Good. Inhale it back to center. And then from here, we're going to just take those legs out to the right and land onto that left hip. Go ahead and bring your legs in front and let your soles of your feet come together for bound angle. So you can have, if you're super tight in the hips, again, you might be up here. You can always stuff some pillows or blankets underneath you. Otherwise, you're allowing the knees to fall open, the soles of the feet touch. And then notice if you're rounding in the front here, nice tall spine, shoulders down and back. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Start to lean the heart forward. Maybe these elbows will land on the inner thighs. You can stay right here and feel that nice lifting and lengthening coming out of the lower back. Shoulders down the back. Crown of the head is reaching forward, and we're breathing into these inner thighs. Good. Take one more big breath in. Nice long exhale. Inhale, slowly make your spine nice and tall. Good. So keep the legs where they are here. We're going to take this right hand and bring it right behind your spine like a little kickstand. So press into that palm, and then this left hand can either hold on to the toes here for your twist to the right, or you might start to take this left hand towards that right knee, getting a little bit more leverage, a little bit more twist. Allow that chin to start to flow towards the right. Maybe the chin will go all the way back towards that right shoulder. wherever it feels good for your neck. Once you land here, you can think about pressing the soles of the feet together. You're getting a nice deep inner thigh stretch here. Inhaling that chin forward towards that left shoulder, and then exhale the chin all the way back. Take 3 rounds of breath, either with or without that movement of the chin. Stay nice and tall, like somebody's drawing the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Keep pressing into that right palm to keep the length in the spine as we just breathe into this twist. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. If that chin is behind you, go ahead and bring it forward first, and then allow that whole spine to unravel forward. Good, grab onto your feet here, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, forward lean. Maybe feel the difference between one side and the other here for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, spine comes tall. And we're going to take that twist on the left side. So the left hand will come behind the base of the spine, press into the palm, get that length, and then you can hold on to the feet with the right hand, find your twist. Maybe you start to come into that twist and that right hand can come towards the left knee. Shoulders, make sure you're not wearing them like earrings. You want to keep them down the back. And then maybe that left chin will start to maybe go back towards that left shoulder. And then if you want to take that movement with your breath here, inhale that chin over to the right shoulder and exhale it all the way to the left. Just feel into all those tight little spaces. Think about pressing the soles of the feet together, getting into that right inner thigh a little bit more. Eyes can be opened or closed here. Good, take one more deep breath in. Nice long exhale. If the chin is behind, inhale it forward first, and then allow that whole spine to spiral forward. Good. Go ahead and grab onto those toes, take a deep breath, lengthen. Exhale, lean forward, lengthen the spine, shoulders descending down the back. Take 3 more deep breaths. So we opened up pretty much all the areas that are notoriously tight in our bodies. We're going to bring it on down to the back now. Take 1 more deep breath. Long exhale. And then inhale that spine nice and tall. Maybe take your palms to bring those knees back together. Wrap your arms around your shins. Let your chin fall to your sternum. Maybe give yourself a nice little hug. Let that whole spine reset for a moment. And then we're going to come all the way down to our spines. So go ahead and bring your hands down to the mat, or you can grab onto the backs of your shins. If you want to try a little bit of core engagement here, really think about taking 1 vertebra at a time from the tail and land it onto the mat really slow. So take your time, see how long it can take you to get there. Eventually, your feet might come up and then you'll just kind of onto the mat. Once you do that, draw your knees into your chest. And then go ahead and wrap your arms around your shins. Maybe a little rock side to side might feel good here. Or you can take some circles on the ceiling with your knees, rolling out that lower back. Let the head and the shoulders be nice and heavy. Good. And we're going to take legs up the wall here. If your hip flexors are really tight, this might be a little hard for you, but go ahead and give it a shot. So allow the feet to come straight up to the ceiling. You can have hands to the sides, on your belly. You can have them overhead, whatever feels good here. And you can flex the feet and point the feet or roll the ankles out if you want to. This is a really nice way to get your body ready for bed. If you're, having a hard time just relaxing, you're reversing all the blood flow in the legs, which is really good for our lymphatic system. Might even feel a little warmth pooling in the belly here. And if you're at home and you have a block or a pillow, sometimes it can feel good to put that underneath the spine. So try that out. before you go to bed at night. Take legs up the wall. If you're finding you're having a hard time holding yourself there, you can actually go to the wall and have your legs up against it. And then you don't have to use any muscles at all to hold the legs there. It can feel really nice. So take about 3 more deep breaths. Good. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and bend the knees, plant the feet. Good. Let your feet come wide to the edges of your mat so your feet can be half on, half off. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, allow those knees to fall towards your right. And you'll feel that nice opening in that left hip flexor and lower back. Again, no forcing here, just allow the weight of the knees to do the work. If you want to increase this one for a little deeper stretch, you can take that right heel to the outside of that left thigh and maybe guide that left knee a little closer to the floor. If that feels good, if it doesn't, stay with the first option. Take about another 3 deep, long breaths here. Good, big inhale. If that foot is on the other thigh, exhale, release. And then inhale those knees back up through center. Pause for a breath in. Allow everything to reset. Exhale. Big breath in. And then allow those knees to fall towards your left. And each side's going to be a little different here. So this might be you on this side, stay here. Otherwise, you can take that left heel to the outside of the right thigh and just gently increase that right hip flexor, lower back stretch by guiding that right knee a little closer to the earth. Big, deep breaths. Try to relax the upper body. Take another big, deep breath in. Exhale, release that side. Inhale those knees back through center. And give yourself a final hug here. Maybe draw those knees back to the chest. Maybe if it feels good, let that nose come up to the knees. And you can rock side to side or up and down the spine. Working out any last little bits of kinks here. Yeah, maybe a little rock and roll. Good, and then when you're ready, finding that place of stillness here. So allow your legs to either go long on the mat or you can keep them bent. If the knees are bent, then it's nice to have the feet wide again and allow the knees to fall to center, and that way you won't have to hold any muscles in your legs. Allow the arms to come nice and wide away from the body. You can have a soft eye gaze at the ceiling, or you can close them down here. And allow the body to take on its own natural breathing rhythm once again. Let all control of the breath go here. And then maybe taking that mind's eye once more, traveling through the body, noticing if there's any spaces left that are still holding or gripping. Just allow that to let go and relax. And then bring your attention down towards your feet. And allow the feet to be weighted and heavy, maybe allowing the ankles to fall naturally out towards their sides. Allow that awareness to travel up the calves, to the backs of the knees. Allowing awareness to travel up the upper thighs all the way to the hips and into the belly. Finding once again where you feel the breath in your body, maybe that natural rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Feeling the weight of the torso here, completely supported into your mat or whatever surface that it's resting on. Bringing awareness into the shoulders, allowing that awareness to travel down the upper arms, towards the elbows. that awareness travels down the forearms towards the wrists. Perhaps noting a slight natural curl here in the fingertips. Feeling the jaw release and relax. Maybe creating some separation in the back teeth. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. The eyes are soft. The ears are heavy. Noticing the weight of the whole head completely supported. And feeling the whole body supported here by the earth, by the floor. And allow everything to be here just as it is. Just enjoying each moment with each breath and everything just as it is.